Good morning. Good morning. What's happening, family? Welcome to the show. It is Michelle Bryant here at WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. You are listening to Say Something Real. Man, it feel like forever since I talked to y'all. You know, that King holiday, like, ooh, it's been a minute. Y'all still look the same. Let me see, Jay. Yeah, you still uh
Yeah, you know,
you still the
I'm
same.
still the same.
I was hoping there might have been some improvements.
Uh-uh. I tried, and the improvement said, "No, you're not ready."
I was hoping it might have been some fresh looks when we came up in this camp.
I'm still
But
Tempur-Pedic.
still Tempur-Pedic.
Still Tempur-Pedic.
What up, Clark Kent? How you doing this morning,
you
player? With you, boy. With you.
Oh.
Man, look,
This
we
the way to make you want to leave.
we keep stuff in the garage, right? And so, you have to go out in the garage and go get different stuff in the house. Man, every time me and Keisha come back in the house, all you hear is cuss words. It's so ridiculous in the garage. Oh my God. What's the man's name? Debo somewhere in the building. Good morning, Debo. Oh, is he hollering from the back now? That's don't start, Jermaine. Don't start. Do not start. I couldn't go to the dinner. I mean, to the King events without somebody doing them sounds from the Pillsbury Doughboy. Don't start, Jermaine. Hopefully everybody had an opportunity. Well, wait. Let me do a couple things. First of all, a lot of people knew before when I left the show last Thursday. It was the service for Dr. Lakeisha Myers' mom, Gertha Wheeler Myers, and it's so crazy. I tell Keisha, I don't know what it is with her family. Like, I'm there for all the events. I never see any of the events. I went all the way to DC for Keisha's graduation. I think when she got her, I don't know if it's when she got her PhD or one of her master's degrees. I went out for that. The tire on the van we had messed up. I had to go get new tires. They went to the graduation. It was something else we had to do for Keisha. And I've missed all the milestones. And when she got sworn in the Capitol, I was in the office working in Dan Senator Taylor's office. So all our team went over, but I stayed in the office. And then for her mom's funeral, I went to go pick up the chicken for the repast, and I had to do some stuff for the repast. And then I went back to the house, and some stuff had to be done at the house. So I ended up missing the service. I did get to go and see her mom, during the viewing. She looked absolutely beautiful. Oh my goodness. For this woman to be 75 years old, smooth silk like skin, like butter. And she just looked beautiful. Everything was done beautiful. Let me say thank you to the WNOV family. There was a beautiful spray there from NOV and a number of flowers that were sent. The community showed up for this family, and it is so appreciated. So I just wanted to make sure I said that. Jay, you want to say something?
Yeah, I want to say hi to you.
You want to say hi?
To you.
Okay.
But you can say good morning to me, so I just want to say hi to you.
So
that's all.
I was
coming.
I was coming.
No.
So, dude, I need you to.
Sometimes
my
rap.
You had 4 days to.
I missed you
to
get
better.
When you wear your hair like that under the hat,
it
caused me to feel lonely.
You
when
had
you don't speak
4
to me.
days. Friday, Saturday,
hey,
Sunday, Monday.
Lonely guy.
You had 4 days to get your life in order. So
I missed you, Shell.
Yeah, I wish I could say the same. I wanna say the same.
Respectfully,
it's not happening. But King Day celebrations.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you do anything for King Day?
Of course, I was at the King Center, and
oh, that's what you played.
Yeah, I played, and I had to sing a song behind the Reverend Kenneth Locke.
Mm. And wait, did he sing or did you?
No,
he spoke.
He had spoke, and then after him,
you put what song did you?
I did a song that is called "If Not for Grace," and I actually wrote this particular song, and so yeah, it went over.
Oh, so you out here doing originals?
You know, the majority of the time I'm kind of doing originals, but people don't know it. Uh, that I'm doing an original joint. So
And
I
so
did
it
that.
was called If Not for
Yeah,
Grace.
it's a little bit right here. Let's see. If not for grace. So my phone's
Let me
trash.
see.
My phone's trash.
Uh-oh. Now it's gone.
Where would I be? You only know. So glad you see through eyes of love, a hopeless case, an empty place. If not for grace.
That's beautiful.
Appreciate it.
Ah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna actually put it out, but
And then
whenever I feel like.
looking like Stevie Wonder sitting
Well,
up there.
cut the check.
With the shades
Cut
on.
the check.
Locks hanging on
Hey.
on top of it. Is that a Coogee sweater?
No, it ain't cool. It was a Fendi. It was Fendi. Fendi.
I was like, is Negro still wearing Coogee
No,
sweaters?
that was Fendi.
It looked like a Coogee
No,
sweater.
hold on, pull it up again.
We're gonna need to do a
Pull it up
tag
again.
check.
Hold on.
We're gonna need to do a tag check.
Hold on.
So, it was Fendi.
Zoom in to the check. Fendi. Fendi.
His bro still be rocking their Coogee sweaters. Hey,
ever.
but I'm not mad. Because Coogee sweaters was like $4.50 back in the day.
But now it's $4.50.
You get Coogee sweaters at Ross now.
you get Coogee at Marcus now.
Bros be stepping out. We like, hey. Hey. We know that's not an original.
I heard man that
Wait, somebody said, Dion said, a lady on the news mentioned Jermaine's name on yesterday morning from the King Center.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
So maybe they're talking about the lineup for the day.
Oh, yeah.
Or what was going to happen. So look at you being famous.
Hey, well,
in your Coogee sweat.
Hey, again, it was Fendi. Fendi.
Keith Parrish trying to figure out where you got it from. He want one.
I got it from Debo's hookup. Third and Taliban. Go holler at him, Don.
He want one. He want one. Let me say good morning to everybody that's listening. Thank you, Shelby, for checking in. Yes, Chandra, the food is gone. Chandra brought over like everything for pork chops, ribs, mac and cheese dressing. Yeah, she brought like the whole kitchen. We had the amazing carrot cake from Deborah. I always forget if it's Jenkins Simmons or Simmons Jenkins. But it was just a lot of people showed up and it was crazy. So we appreciate it. In terms of King celebrations, I did the YMCA's my thing is over my bag. The YMCA's breakfast, man, they're getting up at 6 o'clock to go downtown, and I still get there at 8 o'clock. It's bad. Keith always look at me with a level of disgust because I come late every year. Now he always look at me with a level of disgust. The small one. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Look at you, gentlemen. But yeah, Keith always, because Mr. Punctual, who lets everybody know he's punctual. He be early. Rhonda, his wife, looking beautiful. He was looking regular. But he just be sitting there, legs are crossed with discernment on his face, like, you are such a bad representative of the station. Because I come late every year. It just be too early. I'm sorry. I'm not coming for the mingling. I'm coming for the breakfast, and I'm coming to see them little kids say their speeches. After that, I can go home. Um, so the young people who won awards for great essays, Dahlia Santiago, Golden My Year, she was in the high school category. Aliyah, I know I'm saying her name wrong. Simmons, she was the elementary, Lowell Elementary School, and Tatiana McHenry over at Fernwood Montessori School. And Little Miss Simmons from Lowell International Elementary School. The speeches centered around peace. You know, this whole idea about what peace is, and um, the baby girl from the elementary school said, "Yeah, peace is also being able to drive on these streets without, these reckless drivers tearing up your car." I thought that was hilarious. People started clapping, and she said, "And peace is also folks not taking stuff that don't belong to them."
She went in.
her little version of peace was too funny because everybody else was doing like the global peace, the lofty peace, the racial harmony.
Zeroed in.
Yeah.
She zeroed in.
She said, "Yeah, all of that." And I need some peace on these roads with my mama taking me back and forth to school. Right, yeah, I'm telling you, dude. She almost got a standing ovation out of it. Like they all got standing ovations at the end. But yeah, I said, "Oh yeah, this is a whole element of peace I hadn't really thought about." But it was great. Then I left there. I stopped by one other event, and then I went over to King Fest, and I'm going to reach out to Montreal King to see if there's a possibility to get Congressman Jonathan Jackson, which is Jesse Jackson's middle child, who is currently a congressman. The speech that he gave was phenomenal. As I said before, Sister Herrera's ability, along with the assistance of Congresswoman Gwen Moore, to get Congressman Jackson, but Sister Herrera always has heavy hitters for her national keynote speeches. He was phenomenal. I mean, I'm mad because normally I either go live or I'm taking notes so I can come back and talk about some of the things that he said. I was so into his remarks that I did neither. I didn't go live and I didn't take notes. One thing he said that I thought was interesting, and even as I look at the YMCA's brochure, for their program talking about the King celebration, Dr. King celebration, one of the things that he said that just kind of stood out, and I don't know if some of it is because he is PK's kid, but he made this comment about the fact that when we talk about Martin Luther King Jr., we no longer really mention the Reverend piece. Everybody says Dr. King. And he said in some levels, it's getting to the point where people just say King, but most often it's Dr. King. And he talked about a degree of hierarchy when you think about like the doctor, the PhD, the dissertation, you did that coursework to be able to get that PhD. But being Reverend King, and that this is a different kind of calling, a different kind of elevation, a different situation, and also the fact that this man is seminary trained, not just Jesus put it on my heart to start preaching and I opened up a church and I don't go get any formal training. I'm a preacher, and I'm not gonna say there's anything necessarily wrong with that. Back in the day it was a lot of that, but I do, all people that know me, I'm sorry, I don't apologize. I always have a respect for people who go and become educated in their craft. Not saying you know better or no worse, no less, but I think having foundational information to help you explain text, to help you understand different things that are going on in relationship to the word, I think it's important. And so this is a seminary trained I'm trying to remember the guy who was Barack Obama's pastor, Jeremiah Wright. Was it Jeremiah Wright?
Jeremiah.
Who has said that you got brothers that turn their collar around and they become a pastor, but no education, no formal training, or you coming up under other people who didn't have no education, no formal training. And again, there was a time when we couldn't get it. Now we can. So there's no excuse not to. And again, for people who get mad, don't get mad at me because I value education. I just do. So I noted even on the YMCA's program, it just says Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. I know when I talk about him, I will alternate between Dr. King, Reverend King, depending on what I'm saying. But I certainly noted what he said, that we have left off the Reverend as if that's not as important as the PhD. And so I took that to heart when he was talking about that. The contest winners for the speech contest, the essay winners for the King Fest celebration, phenomenal young people. I don't have their names in front of me. I think I got them in the text. I got to go back and look. But I'm always thrilled and proud to see and hear what young people are thinking in relationship to the theme that they had, and they did a phenomenal job. A lot to be appreciative of. One of the things that go into these King Day celebrations do is it reminds you of the struggle. It reminds you of the fight. It reminds you of the work that has to be done. And Congressman Jackson also said something else that was interesting, because I do this when I talk about myself. Like I always say, I'm 1 year older than affirmative action, because I use my birth year as a marker for a lot of historic things that happened in this country. And when we talk about the rights that we're losing, how this has come and gone in my lifetime. And he said, he was born in 1966. He said that I am the first generation to be born with full rights. And I just sat back for a second and I let him go ahead and put it together. But what he was saying, because when I was born in 64, the Voting Rights Act had not passed. It didn't pass till a year after I was born, 1965 Voting Rights Act. The 64 Civil Rights Act was just coming into play. So when I was born, there were still literacy tests being given to Black people to be able to vote. Black folks still had to, recite the Constitution, the preamble to the Constitution, and how many jelly beans in a jar. And they still could go through all kinds of drama trying to vote. So when he said that I'm the first generation, basically in our family, to be born with full rights, I was like, man, that's crazy, because we don't think about it in that way. And so when you got people trying to tell us that the EEOC office is, out putting out these commercials talking about white men, if you've been discriminated against, in my lifetime, Black folks were still being discriminated against when we were born. And even though the Civil Rights Acts passed, in legality, in practice, we still weren't being afforded those rights. So when you talked about redlining and healthcare access and quality education and all the different things that look like equality, we still weren't getting those things. We still had to petition. We still had to fight. We still had to make people live up to the letter of the law. And so to see all of these things being eroded, so I got to take a break. But when I come back, since I hit on King, I do want to take one quick second to run through. I saw this article that I thought was interesting, in which they talked about under the Trump administration, both term one and this current term, all of the things that have been done to assault the memory of Dr. King, to assault Black history, to assault the honest conversation about race and racism in this country, the rewriting of slavery, because we got to make sure that white people are comfortable in this country, because, I'll be damned if anybody got to be held accountable for what has ever happened to Black folks. And, the the thing that we heard in Madison all the time was this idea of victimhood. Because if Black people brought up something that happened to them, oh, you want to be a victim. You want to be a victim. I don't subscribe to victimhood. But if something happened to white people, now we got to have a whole, investigation, a survey, laws put on the books. But Black people, we can't complain about what's happened to us because then we want to be victims. So I'm gonna deal with that. And then the other thing I gotta hit real quick, y'all, we are going to have to pay attention to a referendum that is being proposed for the November ballot, which would seek to codify into law, into the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin, that there can be no governmental entities, city, county, city, county, state, that would have programs, resources allocated to looking at how communities of color are negatively impacted. So that Office of Equity that comes in here every month for Milwaukee County, if this referendum were to come into play, the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin would say something like the Office of Equity would be illegal. That anything that looks at these like health disparities, and we got Black people, one disparity after another in the state of Wisconsin. We the top number one in infant mortality. We number two in incarceration. We number three in this. Over and over, we jockey between somewhere 1 and 5 on the scales. And now you got Republicans trying to introduce into the Constitution to codify into law that we can never do anything that takes race into account in this state in the way of government what's the word I'm looking for? Legislative programming, because somehow or another it's racist. But you got systems that created all of these problems and these disparities. And now, knowing that none of them have fully been addressed or taken care of, we want to put it in the Constitution that you can't spend taxpayer money, my money, your money, to be able to figure out why Black babies keep dying at the rate that they do. And that the government, that the that the county or that the state, the city or the state would look into those things. So that whole task force on missing Black women and girls that Representative Sheila Stubbs has been trying to get done, all of that can go by the wayside. So we got to talk about that. Let me take a quick break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Y'all, we'll be right back. All right, family, welcome back. So I said before I went to the break, I wanted to take just a few minutes to take a look at what the King holiday celebration and efforts around acknowledging the need for diversity, equity, and inclusion in this nation. What that fight has been about all of these years now looks like under Trump. First of all, let me say that Donald Trump had not issued any type of proclamation at all for the King holiday until late in the day yesterday. The president of the NAACP, Derek Johnson, called him out. The fact that he literally had no activity scheduled for King Day. He sat back and watched college football. And we look back, in 2023, President Joe Biden gave a speech at King's Church, 2008. Then President George W. Bush spoke at the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial Library in D.C. In '07, Bush participated in a day of volunteer service at a local high school. We can go back through all of the different presidents since Ronald Reagan signed the King holiday into law, a Republican president. Since he signed it into law, how presidents have honored the memory of Dr. King. And it was a day on, a day of service, a day of doing something. Donald Trump. Because what I was getting ready to say, and I had my mom in my head, Donald Trump sat on his fat rump and did nothing. Because see, I would, put the cuss word in, but I can hear my mama say rump, Michelle. He sat on his behind down at Mar-a-Lago and had intended to do nothing until too many people started calling him out. Like, what is wrong with you, man? So just so we are clear, in terms of everything that we have seen in relationship to Donald Trump and him putting out this BS proclamation talking about honoring the work of Dr. King and, trying to do things that mirrored what Dr. King was working towards. He coordinated in his second term an effort to erase or rewrite parts of American history, especially Black history, the legacy of the Civil Rights Movement. And this is what specifically we can talk about. Of course, he removed the bust of Dr. King from the Oval Office last summer. It had been there since 2009. Almost 20 years, this has sat in the Oval Office. Donald Trump comes in, he removes it. He does the sweeping executive order to overhaul federal diversity, equity, and inclusion programs last January. The Defense Intelligence Agency ordered a pause of all activities and events related to MLK Day. So the Defense Department, intelligence, we can't do anything acknowledging Dr. King's Day. The DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, paused all programming for Black History Month, Juneteenth, LGBTQ Pride, Holocaust Remembrance Day, and other special observances to comply with Trump's order about diversity, equity, inclusion. Of course, he got rid of free entry to national parks on King Day and Juneteenth Day. He then, beyond the elimination of that, he goes over to the park system and says that they want a review of all public monuments, memorials, statues, or similar properties that may be centered around race, that have narratives that portray American and Western values as inherently harmful or oppressive. So if you got monuments in these parks, observances that acknowledge the institution of slavery, the impact of racism, if you highlight the Buffalo Soldiers, he wants a review of all of that, because if it does not tell this whitewashed story of America, then his executive order has been targeting these things and wants them taken down. I think they said he had targeted 80 items for removal at the Smithsonian Black History Museum because of things that he found to be offensive. 80 items for removal at the Selma to Montgomery National Historic Trail, where King led the march in support of the Voting Rights Act. He wants 80 things connected to this trail in the national park system removed. Other things include removal of the Bible that the civil rights activist Reverend Amos Brown took to demonstrations with MLK. Why you want a Bible removed? Even though you are the individual who holds a damn Bible upside down because you don't know, because you ain't never cracked one open in your life. But he wants a Bible removed. How is that a problem? The censorship that we are seeing is crazy across the board. What he is doing with education and removing all this information from school books, textbooks. He does not want people talking about the institution of slavery. If you do, you down in Florida or Texas talking about it was an unpaid internship. 44 Republican lawmakers in 44 states have introduced or implemented legislation targeting critical race theory, which was not being taught in K-12 education, so it's ignorant, during his first administration. And they have followed up directives last year. 12 states passed anti-DEI legislation. 12 states have passed anti-diversity, equity, and inclusion legislation. Texas Governor Abbott signed a bill removing a requirement for King's I Have a Dream speech to be taught in public schools. In Virginia, the Youngkin administration fought to eliminate mentions of MLK from elementary school standards. They didn't want his name mentioned. They did not want Dr. King's name mentioned in elementary school in Virginia. In Tennessee, the far-right group Moms for Liberty sought to remove a book about MLK from a school district's curriculum. They have gone on and on with directives under the Trump administration that seeks to minimize the contributions of Dr. King, minimize, what has happened to Black people in this country, minimize discussions of slavery. And this is spreading like wildfire. And so let me take a second. Hang on, y'all, because I can hear myself. Whoever got me up. Because I can I can hear myself in the background. So let me just mention, if I could, the referendum, and I'm just pulling it up because I didn't have it pulled up. Hang on one second, y'all. I'm pulling it up. So Republicans are seeking to eliminate stuff around diversity, equity, inclusion in the state in terms of legislative action. So what do I mean? There's a story, Wisconsin Public Radio did. Democratic leaders in Milwaukee say a proposed constitutional amendment would have dire consequences for programs aimed at diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives across the state. The proposed amendment would prohibit, quote, governmental entities in the state from discriminating against or granting preferential treatment to any individual or group on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in public employment, public education, public contracting, or public administration. The resolution, which was passed in the Assembly last week with only Republican support, it is a part of an effort from the legislative Republicans against diversity, equity, and inclusion practices, which Robin Voss described as cancerous. He said that anything having to do with diversity, equity, and inclusion is cancerous. And again, the short-sightedness of these people, there are so many things that can fall under the umbrella of diversity, equity, and inclusion. When you think about access to facilities in terms of handicapped individuals, that's inclusion. That's making sure that just because you have a disability, you are not permitted from going into the state capitol or from having access to a public library. But I'm going to keep going. A statement in support of the amendment from the managing vice president of the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty, which is a conservative hot mess group, said the amendment would end discriminatory diversity, equity, and inclusion programs throughout Wisconsin. The proposal's author, State Representative David Murphy out of Hortonville, said the goal is to end discrimination based on race and sex. The programs will be based on need, and those need-based programs would be available to minorities, but they would also be available to white people. So there's going to have to be a ton of education done to help people understand, because the way this is worded, it is going to appear, and people will say, well, yeah, nobody should be discriminated against based on race, based on gender. But former state representative Lakeisha Myers is listening. And one of the things that she said, this will stop the state diversity internship program, the minority teacher loan program. We know we have a shortage of Black educators in a predominantly, overwhelmingly Black school system. So instead of having all the Black folks, Lakeisha always describes it as the Black people in education in Wisconsin are education adjacent, meaning they're paraprofessionals. They are, the safety resource officers, or like security. They are the kitchen staff. They are environmental services, but they're not in the classroom. They are not the teachers of record. They are not the principals in a lot of situations. So one of the things that she says all the time is the need to increase Black teachers in these classrooms. Because we know we have a deficit of Black teachers, we have created programs to be able to get more Black folks to be able to go to college to become teachers. The Minority Teacher Loan Program. This potentially goes away. The Office of Equity, it goes away. So there's going to have to be a ton of work. And I know I'm planning to reach out to the National NAACP, because money is going to have to be spent in Wisconsin. The Democratic Party of Wisconsin needs to get ready to spend some money on this referendum, to run commercials, to educate people about what Republicans are trying to do. When we look at, let's just say there's a industry where women are underrepresented, so that there are special programs that go out and target recruiting women. Let's get more women in the law enforcement. Let's get more women on the fire department. Let's get more women, in whatever these roles might be. Under this proposed amendment, all of that would be illegal. All of that would be illegal. And we already know the biggest beneficiaries of affirmative action was white women. All of this gets eliminated. When we talk about healthcare disparities and why Black babies and the infant mortality rate is so high and so crazy here, we need to look at stuff to study that. Municipalities wouldn't be able to spend money to do that according to the way this amendment could potentially go down. So we are going to have a campaign, y'all, in our churches, in our friend circles, across our organizations, fraternities, sororities, links, whatever you belong to begin to educate people about this referendum, so they can in turn go out and educate people why this is bad. This is bad across the board. But all of this is Donald Trump. And so for the Negroes that sat on their behind during the 2024 election and didn't think that voting made a difference, here is one of the differences getting ready to be made. For Black folks who decided to show up for Donald Trump because you thought he was going to bring great change to America and to the country, and you financially was going to come up, or you was going to get a $2,000 refund check, this is what you're getting ready to get. And there are now companies, and I shouldn't say there are now, because it's been going on for a while, companies who are backing away from diversity, equity, and inclusion programming. We know that there are not enough Black people in the C-suites, that there are not enough Black CEOs, that there are not enough Black people being given opportunities, that Black people can, and other communities of color can come into the workforce, and certain things are not there. How do we support these workers? Blah, blah, blah. And these companies, because Donald Trump is targeting them, are making sure that they are getting rid of all things connected to diversity, equity, inclusion, because you won't be able to get contracts with the federal government. I just recently heard that Manpower just got rid of like 30-some people last week. 30-some people. If they felt like their job was in any way connected to diversity, equity, and inclusion, Manpower just fired 30-some people. I don't know if those people will be offered jobs in other departments. You just cut clean. That's what we saw down at MATC when people were trying to raise hell about the fact that because of Trump and because of the attacks on diversity, equity, inclusion, people that have been doing jobs that were focused on helping Black kids, brown kids succeed at MATC and student engagement, blah, blah, blah. All of these things being cut and done away with. So I just love all the Black folks that was voting for Donald Trump. And now you see the Black kid who's struggling in college or who needs additional resources and help, and particularly kids that attend predominantly white institutions, because I've done that. That's where my education happened. I know what it meant to be alone on an island at a predominantly white institution and having instructors who in no way could relate to me, didn't care about me, didn't see me, was questioning how I even got in the building. We will do more to talk about this, to educate the community. But y'all, this is one, I'm going to need you in your groups, in your family, in your churches, talking to people to make sure that people fully understand what is at stake if this referendum gets, because it has the ability to be put on the ballot. But to educate people, to make sure people understand this is a no vote. This is a no vote. I don't care how they dress it up. That's the same thing they did with Act 10. The way they dress up this wording, the right to work. It sounds like something that, yeah, I can get behind the right to work when it really takes away and erodes workers' rights just like that. Just like that. Attack on workers' rights. But what do Republicans do? They gloss it up, they BS it up, and they make it sound like something you should get behind. Who wouldn't be behind workers' rights? Who wouldn't get behind that? But it does anything but protect workers' rights, unless you police and fire. Because, that's who they believe their base is, and that's who the Republicans look out for. Oh, except if you get in the way of the January 6th insurrection, and then Republicans didn't give no damn about police because, Trump was making a point. So their politics was more important than police that day. People that got convicted of attacking police got pardoned by the Trump administration. But a whole bunch of police officers still riding around carrying the red Trump flag. Go explain that. Did you say I had callers? Let's go to the phone line. And I apologize, callers, but I need to get that in because I got an interview at 8 o'clock. Hey, caller, what's happening?
Good morning, Michelle.
Hey, Angela, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, and yourself?
I'm good.
So my question I have for you is, let me get it together. Okay, so you know how these other people always come into the Black churches and want our vote? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So that's kind of like y'all. They always come into to the Black churches, but just to get our votes, you ain't never there until it's time for you to need our votes. You ain't joining. You just there for a couple hours just to get our votes, just to say, hey, I went to this church today, and I'm sure they're gonna vote for me. I don't even roll like that. Because if I don't see you on a regular Sunday like every Sunday. I don't have to vote for some of them people. Some may vote for, but some of them I don't, because I don't, just don't use us because it's voting time, and that's all they doing. And then another thing, like around this time of the year, they showing these slavery movies. That just gets under my skin. Because why you gotta just show it around Black History Month or Martin Luther King birthday? If you want to show them all the time. We still living that way anyway. Not literally, but
No, I understand what you're saying.
That just is another thing. Like yesterday, I was talking to a friend of mine, and he said, "You watching Bounce?" I said, "No, they had Rosewood on." I said, I don't watch that. I don't. I don't watch any of those movies. And then, like Trump, he mad because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize from Greenland. So now he really just like doing whatever he tried to do to them because they wouldn't give him the prize. Do you think you deserve it?
So it doesn't
You
come
don't
from Greenland,
deserve that
Angela.
at all. I know it don't come from Greenland, but I'm just
I know
saying
what you're saying.
they
I'll talk
invoked
about
him, yeah. So, now he really like coming hard on them because they didn't give him his day vote or whatever the case may be. He don't deserve it anyway.
Absolutely
That
not.
prize is for people who did right by deserving that prize, that reward. And he don't deserve anything. And those that's backing him, y'all need to get up off y'all horses that he riding on with y'all. Cause he ain't no good. He ain't doing nobody no justice. Nobody.
All right. Thank you, Angela. I appreciate the call. Got another caller.
Wait, okay, I just gonna take one. And Jermaine, when I woke up, why you didn't tell me you was going to sing that morning? I could have went.
Boy.
Oh my God. She wasn't gonna let it slide. She wasn't gonna miss that opportunity. Why you ain't tell me you was singing? Let me go to the next caller. Hey caller, what's happening?
Hey, Michelle
Hey.
and Team 860. I got a question. I don't respectfully, and I don't mean to change the subject,
Go
but
ahead.
isn't it kind of strange that all these stores is closing up on the north side?
So are you talking about like the story that they talked about North Avenue with all the stores closing, or
No,
in general North
Century
Side?
closing on. Well, Century, the one on 64th from Silver Spring.
Right. I saw that it had
Indians
just
bought
opened
that.
and then it just closed.
Grand opening?
Yeah, Indians
Very
bought
cool.
that. Then the Pick and Saves on East
Silver Spring.
Brown Deer or something. What is that?
Silver Spring.
Pardon?
It was Silver Spring.
Silver Spring.
Yeah.
But then these Walgreens, what I'm saying is that a lot of things closing and now the mayor wants to figure out something to do. Well, why don't they do the same thing they did with the stadium when it was getting ready to they remodeled, then it came back with the Brewers might leave, so they offered them some money to stay. The arena down there, they went up on the tax. I mean, and then all these churches, why can't they put their money together and put these stores, do something that have these stores? And this guy on Sherman and Fowler, like with the grocery store next to old Mr. Old G's or something like that. Personally, I never been there, but his store is in like a community. If you try to open a rib joint in the Muslim neighborhood, you just ain't, he depend. It ain't gonna work. And up there, you got the Jewish people, you got all different type of people. You're not big enough to cater to all the. You can't just depend on one. Well, you could, but our people don't think like that. So I just think it's weird that all these stores are just closing like a domino effect. I never noticed it happen before, and I was just wondering if you had an opinion on it.
All right. Thank you, bro. I appreciate the call. I mean, on any given time, we talk a lot about what's happening economically in terms of development in our community. And so I'll tell you what. Let me do this because I need to take a break. I got a guest that I'm interviewing at 8:00. I'll pick this up because it's not a long interview. So I'll pick this up on the other side. But it is tied into so many things that happen in our community. And, again, how we invest in ourselves, what we demand of people that run for office, and also the national trends, though, of a lot of these brick and mortar stores closing up because a lot of people can order their stuff online. Even though in some communities, as I said last week, everything is right there. All of the businesses, all the restaurants, all the establishments, they right there. So there are a lot of things at play, but I can't do it right now because of this upcoming interview. So let me do this. Jay, did you want to say something?
No. I was just in agreement with you. I mean, it's like, other places have stuff that's right there. So it's in walking distance. You can go to it. Our community, we just seem like we don't support each other for whatever reason.
And again, some of this is not about supporting each other because these are national chain businesses that are not staying in the community. But we'll
Oh
talk
yeah,
about it.
yeah,
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 we'll talk
yeah.
about it. All right, family, let me take a break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. Be right back. Welcome back to the show. So I told you before we went to the break that I had a interview scheduled this morning, and this is one that I'm actually looking forward to. You know, coming off the Christmas holiday, once you hit January, it's like you out the gate and running. Before you know it, after you celebrate Dr. King's birthday and everything connected to this incredible leader, it is Black History Month. We rolling right into it, and it's one of my favorite times because while I do Black 365, the opportunity to highlight, to learn or to become educated about different aspects of the African American community and experience in this country are just put on a pedestal that beckons that we all stop and pay attention. So I always look forward to Black History Month. And there is a production that has been around for a few years, but is relatively new to Wisconsin. I think we've had it here once before. And I am so fortunate this morning to have the brother who is the writer, producer, an incredible artist, who is also a pastor, join us this morning to talk about this production, Reverend William H. Pierce. Reverend Pierce, are you with me this morning?
I am with you. You had to put the H in there. You had to get it all in there.
Oh, yes,
William H.
you know, I
Pierce.
ain't say your whole name.
Yes, the whole name.
First of all, a man after my own heart showing up in a hoodie representing the sounds of gospel. I love
Yes,
it. I love it. So how are you today, sir?
I am blessed. In spite of what's going on, we're given another opportunity to make some changes in our own lives and then in our cities and states and our families as well.
So do me a favor. There will be some folks that clearly already know who you are. They are familiar with the
Yes.
production, but other folks, you will be new to them. Take a moment, Reverend Pierce, and tell people, and it's Reverend Dr. Pierce. I caught all of that. I saw the background. I like respect and stuff. But let people know where you're based, because I thought Twin Cities, but I wasn't sure if you're still there. But let people know where you're based, what church you're affiliated with, and a little bit about yourself.
I am from Minneapolis, the Twin Cities, affiliated with Fellowship Missionary Baptist Church here. Originally from Mississippi, so I'll bring that down.
Wait a minute. What part? What part?
Mississippi, a little place called Salis near Kosciuszko, which
There
is
you go. Look, we got way
Oakland.
too many
Yeah,
Mississippi
you got
folks in Wisconsin, so they want to know. They want to know where you from.
you gotta name all the little cities because they're so small. It's like, wait a minute, where's that near? So yes, I my dad was a great gospel singer, and I grew up on gospel music. I grew up on gospel music. My grandmother, aunts, all of them were singers. I didn't get all the gift, but I got the gift of my dad, the opportunity to put together some, able to organize things. So I moved here, and after so many years, I reflected back on what helped me through so many trials and tribulation. And I hear my dad sing and hearing all that old quartet music back in the day and going to Dr. Watts. So I said, I want to bring that to this city, Minneapolis. So we wrote this production years ago, and it's has evolved over the years to this point. And so we're grateful for the opportunity to share it not only with Minneapolis, Minnesota, but other parts of the country as well.
So take a second though, because first of all, I couldn't figure out like if it came about as a way to celebrate Black history, or if it was something you wanted to do and it fit in with Black history, and then why it's important to even do this project.
Okay, it came about as a way of celebrating gospel music initially, because music in itself is so important. Arts is a bridge, but music is a universal language. I don't care your background, I don't care your culture, religion. Music has a way of unifying people and gathering people and bringing them together. So once we did the show around 2018, but we was also blessed to do it for the National Baptist Convention here when the National Baptist Convention came to Minneapolis, Minnesota. So after that, I had another idea. I said, look, we need to take this to a different level. So we comprised a program or the event to fit within Black History Month, because if you realize or understand or know anything about Black history, it was the music. It was the gospel music that revolutionized and also helped people to endure all the hardship and pain. It was the music. If you go back, and I'm giving you a little history now, I know this question coming up. If you go back to slavery, although it wasn't gospel music, but it was the music, the field song, the work song.
Right.
And then as you transition all the way up through time, it was always the music that helped people not only deal with the issues they were dealing with, but also help them and motivate them to push past that. So
I'm gonna
that's
tell you, you know, I can't ever recall a time in my in my home, my mother either hummed or sang "Ain't gonna let nobody turn me around." I
that's
mean,
it.
on her job, like she like he's like
That's it.
on my job.
It was the music.
She working with patients. Ain't gonna let nobody. You know, you understood, like you said, to the point of it motivating you, reminding you what was important. Keep your eye on the prize. Whatever that inner thing that you had to draw on to be able to get through some of the toughest times. We've always relied on music. Not to mention, you know, we hid the underground travel codes in music. We, you know, we've done a lot with music
Right.
without fail, and it has certainly been a huge part of our culture. But when you think about gospel music in particular, because you could have told this story, and I get, you know, the connection in terms of you being a pastor, you could have told this story of music and Black folks through a number of different lenses.
Yes.
Why specifically gospel?
Because gospel music is the essence, from my standpoint, of most music. If you look at blues, if you look at rap, everything, I mean, music in itself, and we're going to talk about that, how it was impactful and influenced so many genre of music, gospel music.
Right.
And that's why it's important. And gospel music is the essence of our struggles, is the foundation. And again, as you mentioned, it helped us in so many areas. You talk about the civil rights movement, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around. And if you go back to even slavery, when they used the songs like "Wade in the Water," letting
Right.
people know it was communication. So I'm on my way to the kingdom land. All those things, and those aspects of music helped us in so many different ways. So if you look through the lens of gospel music, because on the foundation of gospel music is the gospel.
Mm.
So you have the music aspect of it, but you also have the gospel from the Bible, saying that you have the hearing music, but you also have the word to say, you put them together, you have gospel music, inspiring and also transforming. So it does both.
So you talk about at some point you realize we gotta take this show on the road. We gotta, you know, incorporate some other things. You bring some heavy hitters to the table
Yes.
to help you get this done. Talk a little bit about that.
Uh, Most of the artists are from Minnesota, but you
Okay.
have the Steele family. Many of the artists that are performing from the Steele family, they hail from Gary, Indiana, but they've been all across the world. They were part of the Sound of Blackness, won some Grammys and things of that nature. So these individuals. Also, I want to mention this when you talk about heavy hitters. Just give people opportunity to share their gifts. And
Okay.
these heavy hitters are coming and singing. I mean, seriously, they're comparable to some of the major artists in the world. I mean, they can sing. You know, I'm talking about singing. I'm talking about singing. But so and some of them have developed their gift to the point where one of the still a young lady in there, she was a part of another program that I put together called The Church Got Talent Too. They didn't know
Mm.
she could sing, but
Okay.
this young lady can sing. And she's singing one of the Clark sister song. When I say that she tears that thing up, I'm serious. She tears it up. There's going to be some laughter. There's going to be some crying, all type of emotion. You're going to go on an emotional roller coaster because the music is going to, it's going to transcend you to a point where you're going to become a part of the show. And that's what it's about. We want to take you with us as we go through this journey, this evolution of gospel music. We want you to ride with us. It was how sometimes somebody come on your house and come ride with me. That's what we
Yeah.
want you to do. We want you to come ride with us and go on this journey with us. And I tell you, you're going to go on an emotional roller coaster because these artists going to sing themselves to the point where they're going to sing you to cry to tears and sing you to emotional, just all type of stuff could be going through your mind.
So that was the next question I was going to ask. is some of this going to be original music, or will people come and hear songs, some familiar songs that they know? Because sometimes I'm gonna tell you, I went to some, I don't know whose concert it was, but they decided to do a bunch of stuff we hadn't been released yet, and we was all sitting there like, "Hey, bruh." Yeah, I mean, it sound good, but
But we don't know. We don't know that. We don't know that. It's going to be all original music.
Okay.
All original music. And the thing about it, it's not just music. We're going to have visuals as well. As we talk about that genre of music, that era, if you will, we're going to have visuals in the background that would also showcase that background to let you know if we're going to talk about slavery, we're going to have people in the field showing that. And they're going to also be in that garb, if you will, or in that they're going to have the clothing of that era so that we can also bring you to that era.
Oh, so this is more than just singing.
Oh,
You got a whole visual piece.
This is an anthology. This is
Yep.
not a concert. This is a musical, so to speak. We're gonna you gonna see it. You're gonna see it.
Wait. Let me interrupt you for 1 second, Reverend. And I got my hand.
Yes, hand up.
asking for a moment.
Keep out of here for a second.
So I just got some text messages. So one of the first text messages I got, where was it? Because somebody said Dr. Williams, who is a musician, an incredible individual in her own right here. She said, I know Salis, Mississippi. I visited the Delaney family. So she was somebody witnessing for your Salis, Mississippi.
Salis.
But we have the basically the mayor of one of our cities that are adjacent to Milwaukee. And she said, I attended the concert last year with my sister. It was one of the best, if not the best concert for gospel I've been to without named singers. I met Reverend Pierce last year, and I told him if they come back, I will do my part to invite others. I have about 20 people who have already purchased their tickets. I'm looking forward to it. I'm inviting more.
That's it. I promise you, it's something you've never experienced before. It's an event that when you leave there, you want more. You want more because we're gonna hit you so hard and so fast that you don't know what happened. And once it's over, you're gonna say, "My God, what was that?" Because I'm serious. It's an amazing show. And like I said, we have the visuals in the background. And there can be narration as well. The artists
there will be narration as well.
They'll come out.
Storytelling going on. We tied all of these pieces together.
It's a story. It's music. It's everything because they'll come out and let you know. They'll inject or introduce that era. What it's about. If for instance, we're going to talk about the Clark sister. We're going to tell how Clark sister was inspired by Mahalia Jackson, Aretha Franklin, and all that. So then we have to set the context because without the context, there's no text, if you will. So we're going to give you the context of that era. And then we'll bring the music out. And then there's going to be some dance and movement. So you're going to get, listen.
So you're going to just put,
you're going to get
all the bases.
It's because it's going to be some dance.
Going okay.
You're going to get everything. And then you have the music itself. So the music going to complement that era. So if you're going to have the drums, we're going to talk about Africa, how the drums is the essence of gospel music. It's that foundation, the drum.
I've never really heard that put that way. Why do you say that?
If you listen to any music, if you take everything else, you have the bass and the drums. The drum carries your music. What if you look at us as a people, it's that drum beat that's in us. When we came from Africa, we carried the drum with us.
Right.
Even when we didn't have the drum, we had this here. We had so that sound, that essence is already in us. So we're going to talk about West Africa, how that still carry the music today. That drum beat.
So look, you got more folks checking in talking about Salis, Mississippi. I told you you needed to say where in Mississippi. We have one of our Black media icons here in the area. She said, my father's people are from Batesville, A
Baseball.
neighbor to Salis, Mississippi,
Yes.
and I got family in Salis too. So yeah, some of your cousins gonna be at the performance. So I'm letting you know.
We all cousins. Everybody relate to everybody from Mississippi.
5 degrees of separation or six. I'm narrowing it these days. But if I just had to ask you, this is not necessarily a part of the interview, but it's one of those things. What is the song that when you hear it, you are transported, you moved? And I know different songs do different things, and that's the one cool thing about music. We pull on different songs for different moments and different things that we need at that time. What transports you? What's the song that if it come on, you stopped in your tracks, you got to lean back, your hand go up? What's that, Reverend?
Well, there's a couple songs, but in particular, there's two songs my dad sang that really, and even now I get emotional when I think about it. He sang a song that I got Jesus and that's enough. But
I got Jesus and that's enough.
And that's a chorus part that said, when you press me down, Jesus picks me up. He stand by my side when the going gets tough. I got Jesus and that's enough.
Okay. And the second song?
Is when the gates swing open.
Okay.
I'll walk in. That song it moves me because I know that the one day the trouble is going to be over in this world. And because of the way I try to live, the way that I try to encourage people, the way that I try to uplift people, one day the gates going to swing open and I'm going to walk in. And the thing about it, me walking in, I see all the people that I missed on this earth that have gone on before me. So one person I see is my dad and my mother. We lost my mom a couple of years ago through colon cancer. So those songs, they resonate with me because of who sang them. And he was a singer too. And because of what they meant to me.
So look, folks are hitting me up now. You have piqued everybody's interest. Michelle, you said February. When in February? Where? They trying to beat Wanda Montgomery, who said she already got 20 folks going. So they trying to look before Wanda buy up all the tickets. How do people get information about how to attend this performance? And Mound Bayou, Mississippi has just checked in.
Mississippi, in my crooked letter, I humpback eye. This is
wait,
in the
wait,
house.
wait. And somebody said, yes, I got Jesus was Dorothy Love Coates.
Yes. That's it.
You got and Otis Clay when the gates swing open.
That's it. That's him.
See,
that's what we're talking about. Those type of songs. Well, listen, the show's going to be at the Bradley Symphony Center, 212 West Broadway.
Did you say at the Bradley Center?
Yeah, Bradley Symphony Center. Yes.
Okay. Symphony Center. Okay.
Yes. So that's where it's going to be, and you can get tickets at www.mso.org. I'm gonna say that again really slow so you'll know. www.ms. I said but zero. Not zero. O.org. And when you go there, you have to search the Sound of Gospel. Or you can call 414-219-7605.
Give the number again.
414-291-7605.
7605. Okay.
February 22nd at 3 p.m. Doors open at 2 p.m. If you have any problem, go ahead.
No, did you say something? Did you?
I just have any problem, call me at 651-600-4087.
I like that. Go directly to the source.
Yes,
so you have now done this show nationally. I know you said you started this back in 2018. You've done this nationally. What are some of the more memorable things that you've heard people say to you about the feedback after they've left this show?
One of the person, it's in one of the videos, said, this show is better than dirt.
It's better than what?
Dirt, like dirt.
Okay, that's good.
Because back in Mississippi, we ate dirt.
We saw the red dirt for sale in Alabama, so I know what you say.
So if it's better than dirt, so and people, so many people have commented about how this show was so inspiring. We're talking about from Caucasian, Asian, Mexican, no matter who. There was a guy here that said, there's a venue here. He said, look, you got to get these people here. I don't care if you know the electric dance, electric slide. He was talking about the different dances. You got to come see the show because it is a show for everyone. That's what I get most from the people, that the aspiration and inspiration of the show, but more importantly, how the show impacts anyone. I don't care if you're Muslim. Said this is a show that would move you because of the aspects of the gospel music. And I don't care if you're young, old. We're gonna hit a new song every year. We bring a song that's relevant to today, and we sing that song as well. I think we're gonna be doing something from Mike Jones. So we go all the way back. I don't care
You
who.
did not say Mike Jones.
Yeah, I did say Mike Jones. I
We
know
got
we have a lot
brothers in the studio looking up like, what? Mike Jones?
I mean, not Mike Jr. I'm saying Mike Jr. I'm sorry, Mike Jr.
See? Yeah, you better clean that one up.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mike Jr.
yeah, they
So
know who it is, but that Mike Jones caught everybody off guard.
yeah,
Like,
Mike Jr. So
what kind of show is this fast?
we go, we go hit everybody. The club too. The club folks come on in. But yes, I don't care what your age. I don't care your demographic, your ethnicity. It's going to be a show for you. I promise you.
All right, look, well, I think that you have set it up in a way that has intrigued and inspired interest. Hopefully, folks will jump on it, get these tickets. These shows can sell out fast. So, and now we got enough advance notice. We got a month out for people to plan appropriately, get what you need. But I know Wanda Montgomery. That's the sister who said she already got 20 tickets bought and she working on more. When this woman say I'm at it, you got to push Wanda out the way. So look, y'all, just as a reminder, Pastor, tell them one more time where they can go to get the ticket information. And somebody else said, yes, Michelle, I want to get my tickets today. So tell folks one more time. They asked me to have you repeat it, where they can go to get the ticket information.
They can go to www.mso.org and search for the sound of gospel. Or you can call 414-291-7605. And if you have a problem with that, call 651-600-4087. And I promise you, we will make sure that you get those tickets.
All right. Well, Pastor, I look forward to seeing you on February 22nd. It sounds like an incredible experience. I'm here for it. I think it's going to be amazing. I know people who went last year and all they did was rave about it. So thank you so much for putting Milwaukee on your tour stop. We appreciate you, and we will see you on February 22nd.
And I appreciate you for having me and being such a great host.
Look, am I going to be able to get the sweatshirt when you come to town?
Oh, yes. I got the color, whatever color you want. I got the color, sweatshirt, t-shirt, and I got the hoodie too.
See, there we go. We in there because that's my gear. So I'll be looking for me some merchandise when you come to town. But we can't wait to see you on the 22nd. Be safe until then.
Yes, you all as well.
All right, thank you. All right, family, that was Reverend Pierce out of Minneapolis. Or Twin Cities, Minnesota. So we are letting people know that this is happening. I know a number of people who got to go last year, and everybody that I talked to was like, Michelle, y'all got to have these people on. Y'all got to make sure that the community is aware of this production. It is phenomenal. And so we getting the word out as quick as we can, as early as we can. And I'll make sure that I bring it up periodically so that we can sell out this venue. This is what gets us on these stops when people are going around the country, is that we show up and we show out. I gotta take a break. Folks on Facebook and YouTube, I will get a chance to look and see what kind of comments y'all making. I see the screens is rolling. Thank y'all for being there this morning. Let me take a quick break. Michelle Bryant, WNOV, 860 AM, 106.5 FM. We'll be right back. Man, I need some church music on the way out, Jermaine. Nah. Not.
I was going to drop
You just can't never.
Hallelujah. Okay. Bye.
We'll be right back. neighborhoods with little access to fresh foods. An Aldi store just 2 miles away shuttered last week, and other neighborhoods have protested pick and save closures. So a notice posted on the Century Foods door on on the weekend of January 18th, announced the store will close permanently. Sunday morning, cashiers told the Journal Sentinel that they expected the store would close in about a week or in possibly the next 2 to 3 days. Folks with the organization, obviously the traditional, speech, decision wasn't made lightly, many factors carefully considered, blah, blah, blah. Deeply sorry to bring this news to the community is what the notice read. So somebody had asked a question about notifications to the city, state, county, when businesses are getting ready to close. I believe that there had been a rule that if you had a business with more than 50 employees, then you had to notify local elected officials about that closure. But we have seen these closures come at what feels like a rapid pace in our community. I looked a little bit more at the story and just, what people are going to do, what people have said. One question that was raised by one of the shoppers, quote, why is it closing in the community that people need help? Why is everything closing all of a sudden? Somebody else was talking about, that there are just a limited number of options right now about where people can go. And this one, which is located right next to a housing authority. So you would think that you got residents who should be able to frequent and help support the store and keep it open. In a 2023 analysis by the city, they projected 12,000 more Milwaukeeans would have access to grocery stores within 1 mile of their home due to the opening of that Century Foods on West Silver Spring. So you think about it. They said roughly 12,000 people are impacted immediately right next to this. Now residents are left with fewer options. 2 pick and save stores on West Capitol Drive and Good Hope Road may be the only nearby full supermarkets remaining, and each are about an hour-long walk or half an hour bus ride from Westlawn. About 4 miles from Century Foods, Sherman Park Grocery Store is also at risk of closing. The owners have cited growing financial challenges, including the interruption of SNAP benefits in November and flooding last August that damaged equipment. So we have, all of these things that are impacting our communities, and folks are asking the question, why? As we've talked about many times on this program, there are so many things that contribute to a store's viability, whether that is the amount of traffic, maintenance, upkeep, the number of people frequenting the stores, if retail loss due to theft is a possibility or problem. And then, a lot of companies are downsizing. People can shop online. You can have your groceries delivered to your home. And so that foot traffic in the store may not be as much as it used to be, making it more costly to keep these stores, brick and mortars, open. I know I just saw something that Macy's was closing another 9 stores across the country. And the first thing I went to go do, even though I don't go to Macy's enough like that, but it's one of the few, higher end stores that's left on a commercial market to be able to go and shop at. And Wisconsin wasn't one of the ones impacted this time, but we are seeing more and more brick and mortar stores have a hard time staying open. What is going on with these grocery stores, though, is beyond me. I used to always lament the fact that we did not have a metro market in the city of Milwaukee, except for over on no, because that's Shorewood. That's not Milwaukee. But we had the metro market over off of Juneau, going more towards the east side. But as big as the city of Milwaukee is, you had to go to Tulsa. You had to go, somewhere else, Greenfield, wherever, to be able to get a metro market. And I think, and that's Brookfield up on 124th and Capitol. One of the things that has been consistent is that they remove our stores and we adapt. We trek ourselves to this location, to that location, and we get used to all of these voids and vacancies. And again, when you look at a lot of these suburban communities, they have access to everything. Like last night when I was on my way home from the King celebrations, I wanted something to eat. I'm on the northwest side of Milwaukee. I'm coming up Brown Deer Road. I got 3 options. And they've been the same 3 options now for a long time. McDonald's, Wendy's, Rocky Rococo's, and that Taco Bell up in the cut. That's it. If you want something that's not fast food and you don't catch that family diner place, there's no place to go sit down and eat. I know we had the Black-owned place, Kitchen and Cocktails. I can't remember if that's still open right now. Yeah, on Brown Deer. But, you can count on one hand what's open and available to us. But I continue to believe that on some level, we've made it easy for businesses to diss us because we follow them wherever they go. Out of necessity, out of choice, whatever it is, we cannot be these types of consumers, and we keep allowing, but somebody said, well, Michelle, what's the option? If they close up the store in the neighborhood, people got to get groceries. So what you want them to do? I understand it's a catch-22, but to be able to negotiate when people are bringing these businesses in the area, I don't know if tax credits are, somebody said we do have a Denny's. Girl, I ain't been to Denny's and I don't know when. I ain't been, that's Keisha talking about we got Denny's. I ain't been to Denny's and I don't know when. Or like I go up to that place for breakfast up off 107th over by that hotel little area. Yeah, Park Place. But they close early. So it's just crazy about what we have available to us. I don't know the solutions, but I know that when we start talking about granting people the opportunity to do business in our community, we got to make it conducive for these companies to stay. As a community, we've got to do everything we can to make it amenable for people to do business with us, that want to do business with us. But it's a sad situation. And if you don't have a car, I'm looking at the transit cuts or the transit, interruptions in service, or I should say reductions in service, not interruptions, but reductions in service. We just got a letter at the house for Keisha's dad about what transportation, if it's cultural, entertainment type stuff, you want to go to the Wisconsin Black Historical Society for the King Fest, you won't necessarily be able to get transportation as a senior citizen to go to that. You got to use other options. Everything around us is tightening a noose around us, and the quality of life becomes less and less in our community. Me and Jermaine were talking during the break. Sherman Park Grocery Store, because of its location, because of parking, it's not always conducive to go there. It's just not. Somebody said, well, why would Sherman struggle, but Pete's be okay? Because Pete's got a big old parking lot. It's accessible from multiple sides of the street. It's easier access. And Fond du Lac is already a mess on any given day. Don't let it be when people mostly go to the grocery store early in the morning or in the afternoon when they get off work. Fond du Lac is a nightmare to be on. So there were some things that were in play that make it difficult for that grocery store straight out the gate. Before you ever open up your sign and say we doing business, it's already going to be an uphill battle for you because of your location and the type of the thoroughfare that you're sitting on. So I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how we lobby to make sure we have what we need, but we're going to have to figure it out. And we're going to have to figure it out before people start closing our businesses. And what do we do proactively to create environments where companies can come and want to be here, want to work with us? Let me go to the phone line. Hey, caller, what's happening? Hello?
Well, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Happy Vaseline Day. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm good. Why you sound so subdued this morning? You all right?
Because I know how y'all is. I got to talk normal with y'all because I can cut you off. You Negroes will hang up on me.
I know how y'all is.
Y'all is.
You about to...
Ain't going, hey, or gonna be. So
none of it is your fault, but go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh man, come on, man. You know the food desert be so crazy. So like how no stores are open at all. Like grocery stores are leaving. Is it the grocery stores? Is it the company? Like why are all of them leaving inner city?
And and I have to figure out like what is a franchise store versus a corporate store, because even though it's a Century, it can be just like Chick-fil-A. It could be a franchise store and not a corporate owned store. So I don't know who were the owners of this particular Century.
But I guess I just don't know because I seen a Facebook post yesterday. They were talking about how trifling the Midtown is. They had one booth, just sitting by the cart. It was nobody booth. Like, come on, fam.
They had one booth.
One booth, just in the store by carts, all about food, just chilling, and like nobody's cleaning up. And then you only can go one way in and one way out of a grocery store.
And not only that though, bro, but when you go to the store, it's like 80, 90 people in the store, but you got 2 lines open. So now you got all these people that's standing in line that's halfway down the store, and you hear it because I went in there the other day and they complaining like, man, why won't they open up other lines? You see, there's people that's in these lines, and the workers is just standing around laughing and talking, and it's crazy.
Two things. But why does Family Dollar never close? And they have boxes through the aisles, no matter what time of the day you go through.
Man,
but their franchise is always open.
Every single Family Dollar I went to
they got
the
boxes
same.
in the aisles.
I swear they look the same, man. Almost as if it's part of their outlook. Because
they want you to. They seem like they want you to stock it.
Yeah. Because it's in the aisle. I mean, then you walk past the workers, man. Then you walk past the workers, laughing and talking.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
But let me just say this because I wanted to go look it up. Family Dollar back in March of 2024 had announced they were closing 1,000 locations.
Wow.
I ain't seen them.
They had 15 that are in Milwaukee. And let me see if any of them got closed in Milwaukee. But I know, I'm like, no, Family Dollar was going through, just like Dollar Tree took the prices from $1 to $5.
Man, yeah. Five Below ain't Five Below.
Right.
But another thing about the grocery store, I love Milwaukee, but you know what? I shouldn't have to call you to come get my drawers to unlock them.
Thank you, man. And you'll be standing there forever saying, hey, because
you got the key.
This just happened to me. This just happened to me. I was in there and I went in there for some socks, and they was sitting around talking, and I asked the young lady. I said, "Can you unlock this for me?" And you know what she said to me?
Socks was locked up.
Yeah,
everything is locked up.
And where was you at?
Walmart.
Walmart.
She said
socks was locked up.
Socks is locked up. She said to me,
Michelle,
I'm on break, and walked away. But you standing on the floor with your jacket on, talking to another employee.
And even if you are on break, to be able to turn around and say, but let me see if I can get somebody to help you.
And this is why our store.
Which Walmart was you at? East Capitol?
East Capitol.
The socks is locked up at East Capitol?
Yep.
Everything is locked up, Michelle.
Socks, handkerchiefs.
Man, listen, anything with socks, drawers, white t-shirts, it's locked up. All that's locked up.
Yep. So you got to ask.
And the person who's in that area don't got the key to cover that area
at all. So you got to wait for somebody to come. I mean,
the
young lady looked at me and said,
"You got to push the button."
Break. Yeah, you got to.
I know you got to push button, but I'm used to that being deodorant.
Oh no,
no.
T-shirt, socks, and drawers.
Yeah,
East
t-shirts, socks,
Capitol.
and
I
drawers.
guess it varies by store, huh?
Because you gotta realize drawers
Say
is like
what?
$20.
Yep.
White t-shirts is like $25.
Yep.
T-shirts is $25.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a five
For
piece. Yeah,
Man, come on now.
Yeah. Listen,
yeah,
I spent
yeah.
no this is the honest to
I
God
came with
truth.
these numbers.
I spent $89 for some socks, t-shirts. It was socks, t-shirts, extra pair of drawers, and something else. It was like 80 something bucks.
Somebody said Walmart locks up the men's socks, but not the women's.
Yeah, because ain't nobody.
That's over in Brown Deer.
Oh, Brown Deer.
They're hot theft items.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because you know you walk around the street,
But why you not
You can
selling
get a
women's
bundle.
socks?
Because you sell them, I don't know.
Because because I've seen women buy men's socks. So so from like the black high socks and the white socks
And those t-shirts.
and those
Been
t
doing those for years.
man on Sherman
Yeah.
and Capitol, you had a bubble
That-
walk
that's-
into with a
that- that's
bag
a-
and was like, I got
that's
socks and t-shirts.
that's why I think that's a big reason why the stores closing, because I know I'm not the only one. If I got to ring a doorbell to
Yeah.
get my
Yeah,
stuff,
it's
I got to
madness.
shop
It's
there.
very
Yeah,
frustrating.
I'm not shopping.
And there's,
It goes with the same thing. If I can't pitch in your gas station, I can't pump my gas your gas station.
If you can't do what in your gas station?
Use the restroom.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for that graphic.
but one of the things,
There you go. Keith is in here. Go ahead,
but
Keith.
one of the things they look at as an economic indicator is when lipstick starts being shoplifted.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, yeah, but
When you begin in
Yeah.
economically difficult times, you
Yeah.
will see an uptick in these retail thefts.
Yeah.
So the stuff
That's
that
true.
people are like toiletries,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
Because and then if you look at it,
But look, somebody just said they lock up the car fresheners for your car.
they do.
Yeah, because man, though, you could actually sell them on the street because they like $5 at the gas station. But if I can sell it for $2-3, I'm gonna make some
And
money.
that goes to show you, like,
But then somebody said
those
the same items are locked up at Menominee Falls and Pewaukee.
Because they go out there too.
because you have
Yeah.
poor people.
Yeah,
This is,
everywhere.
you have poor
yeah,
people.
but the thing
Pewaukee.
is,
This is
you're going to Kohl's department store and you run out a bunch of Sephora cleaner stuff, and your face is all bumpy. You don't need that. You selling it.
well,
All right. Well,
and
thank
then
you,
even
bro.
when it
I'm
comes
up
to pick
against the
and save,
clock.
It wasn't in black communities.
I appreciate you.
It
Say
was
what?
economically
Yeah.
depressed communities.
Right.
You know, because the theft is higher. Let me say real quick. I know we got to go.
Go ahead.
I was at the Metro Mart yesterday
Which one?
on 124th.
Brookfield? In
Yes,
Capitol?
in
Okay.
Capitol. So I'm there at the hot bar. There's no containers out there to put food in.
Mm.
So when I finally get the attention of the three women working behind the counter, I said, hey, there's okay. They went back to talking. I'm standing there. I'm waiting.
Nobody.
No. Then a young sister comes up, same thing. She go over, okay. Now they had this older sister, so now it talks about how people are still in the workforce that probably shouldn't be, but have to be, right? She's just one at a time. Then they go, oh, here one, and they go right back to talking. And I'm going, no disrespect. Oh, and wait a minute, didn't even start there. I need to get veggies, right?
Yeah.
The little plastic bags, none of those have been replaced. So you can't even find plastic bags to put the vegetables in.
Yeah, everything.
See, that's a customer service issue, but it's also something that you say what we tolerate
Yeah,
in turn. Oh, that's just how we are. We just slow. At some point,
yeah, man, pick it up.
you know, I'm doing business here.
Yeah, I'm not, and I'm gonna stop doing business
Yeah.
here. All right, look, that's a wrap on the show today. So stuff I did not get to, I promise you I will get to tomorrow. We have to talk about what Donald Trump is doing in relationship to Greenland. And he now has what's his little shindig called? The Board of Peace. This man is so elementary and so Jesus Christ, he's so illiterate.
How do
He
you
don't-
rebuild Gaza and you have no Palestinians
Exactly.
as part of the group?
Because you never plan to include them.
No, how you have a board of peace, but don't feel obligated to follow after that.
But wait. But you need $1 billion to come to the table to be a member. And he's the head of it. He's declaring himself the head of it, and you need $1 billion to come to the table to be a part of it. So we already know who we planning to exclude. So I gotta get to that stuff tomorrow because and And everything got a price tag. The visa, special access, $1 million. You know, if you want to do everything got a price tag.
It's the love of money.
And now you tell you tell France that if you want to help out Greenland, we're going to put tariffs in place that basically whatever we can do to cripple your export business to the US, that's what we're planning to do. So we will tackle some of these things, but when I tell y'all that this is not the time to retreat, this is not the time to look away, we have got to stay diligent and understand what we are facing so we can figure out how to deal with some of this stuff that's coming our way. All right, folks, that's my show. Thank you so much to everybody that made it go this morning. Bros, I appreciate y'all. And family, I will talk to you tomorrow. Peace.